Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear my voice? Okay. Before starting the new lecture, today's lecture, let me talk about the project of chapter 4. Let me stop this one here. I ask you to work with Netastat tools. I'm going to command prompt here and type Netastat. When I enter, Netastat will start to work and it start to write something, some information for me on the screen. Here I can see there are some TCP connections in my computer. This is my local address, 192.168.1.100. This is IP address of my computer. Then I can see port number of different process in my computer. For example, port number 49887 in my computer is opened, and using this port number and this socket here, combination of IP address and port number is socket address. This socket address is connected to this one, IP address of 20.198.162.76, and this is an HTTPS port. The status of this TCP connection is established, but for example, this one here, status is close wait, or here time wait, established, close wait, time wait. Okay, you can see there are several TCP connections running on my computer on different port numbers here. These connections are handled by my computer and a foreign computer. Here you can see list of those foreign computers. Most of them are over HTTP or HTTPS connections. Okay, in some parts of your project, I ask you to list this one and talk about these states. What are these states? Established, close wait, time wait. What are these states? I ask you to talk about this one. But to do rest of that project, again, I Netastat and a space and a question mark and enter. Netastat space and question mark means that I need help about Netastat. Here you can see this help. If I write Netastat, I can use different switches here, and after this one you can read more about these switches. For example, in part of your project, I ask you to show your routing table in your computer. Okay, if I use switch -R, I can do this. Example here, Netastat space -R, enter. This is IP address. This is routing table of my computer. Firstly, I can see here list of different interfaces in my computer. I have Ethernet connection. And so, for example, here, some Wi-Fi adapters. Also, these adapters are virtual. A Bluetooth network card, a Wi-Fi network card, which is AC. This is 802.11 AC network card. Okay, and this is a loopback interface. Okay, and you can see the MAC addresses here. This is the MAC address of my Wi-Fi network card, or this is MAC address of my Bluetooth network card. Okay, this is MAC address of my Ethernet network card. And here you can see the routing table for IP version 4 in my computer. This one here. You can see here the destination network address, network mask. We talked about this network mask, and gateway and output interface here. And also there is a metric here. I ask you to describe these items. What does they mean? For example, here you can see there is a destination address with 0.0.0.0. Okay, with network mask fully 0. What does it mean? This one here, the first row here. What does it mean? Or for example, this one, 127.0.0.1. What is this? What is this one? Okay, I ask you to talk about this one. And in computer, there is no persistence route. All of my routes in my computer are dynamics. There is no persistence routes in my computer. Define persistent routes. Okay, and also there is another routing table which is related to IP version 6. Here you can see there is a column of interface, a metric, a network destination, and a gateway. You can see this routing protocol is much easier than the routing protocol routing table of IP version 4. In IP version 6, it's too much easier. And again, there is no persistence route, persistence IP version 6 routes in my computer. I ask you to talk about this one, and for example, I ask you to talk about your Ethernet, your network card. Here, -E. Again, Netestat -E. Over this network card, my computer sends this amount of bytes. This amount of bytes it sends, and this is the received amount of bytes in my computer. Most of the received packets or frames are unicast packets, but there are some non-unicast packets received to my computer. Non-unicast means multicast or broadcast addresses. And here you can see in my computer there is no discard packet, there is no packet with errors or unknown protocols. Okay, so simply when I ask you to do this, simply you need to read these switches here and find the best switch in your according to your project. Okay, for example, here protocol. I ask you to work about ICMP protocols. So I can write here Netestat -P ICMP. Here I can see there is no ICMP message or packet in my computer currently. But if I use this one, dash S here. I'm typing netstat -S using switch S. Okay, this is information about IP version 4, information about IP version 6. This is ICMP version 4 statistics. I ask you to talk about these messages. My computer receives 3323 packets, ICMP packets. None of them is for errors. Most of them is in type of destination unreachable. We have several types, several ICMP packet types. Error, destination unreachable, time exceeded, parameter problem, source quench, redirect, echo replies, echo timestamp reply. You can see them here. You need to read about ICMP in the internet to learn more about this, and you can see this information. Here there are statistics of ICMP version 6 here. TCP statistics of IP version 4, IP version 6, and here you can even read more information about UDP statistics in IP version 4 or IP version 6. Just in one part of this project, I ask you to talk about the statistics of ICMP in your computer, and then here, this one here, and then I ask you to go again to Wireshark, open Wireshark, and find ICMP, 3 different ICMP messages received or sent in your computer. Find 3 different ICMP messages and open those ICMP messages. You must learn about the format of ICMP messages, and then open it and talk about that message, structure of that message. What does it mean? You can see some information. What does all those information in the received or sent ICMP messages? Okay, just I want you do this, and as you see here, I extract most of those information just in a few minutes. So this project is not hard, it's easy, and you need to spend just a few minutes to complete it. Okay, any question? No. If you are, I want to write those messages in a report. Never I ask you to send me your captured information. But if you want to save this information, you can do this. For example, netstat -S. Use this pipeline strategy. For example, here. Let me write this, and for example, write this information into C drive C, and in a file with name, for example, 1.txt. Okay. Oh, I cannot access this drive. For example, drive F. Okay. Now you can see I run this order, this command, but you cannot see here. There is no output result here. Why? Because I asked it to write the outputs in a file in drive F in a file 1.txt. Now I'm going to drive F here, looking for 1.txt here. I'm opening it here. You can see those extracted informations are sent and saved in this file. Just simply do this. Work with this one. We called it pipelining. I ask you to extract this information, and then I said, okay, please write the outputs in this file. This file in this address. Drive F, for example, in the file 1.txt. And you can see those information are reported in this file. Okay? Is there any question? Any question? Yes. Write those information into a file like this, and then extract the results and report them in a file, in a separated file, as your report, your final report for this project, and submit that report for me. I don't need those information completely, those outputs. Just read the project step by step and just extract the related information and report just those information. Okay? Any question? Any question about this project? About 4? What is 4? What do you mean, Hannah? ICMP. ICMP, not NP. I'll show you here. These are ICMP statistics. Just after that, after extracting this information, just you need to go to Wireshark, open it, and find 3 different ICMP packets, ICMP messages. To do this, go to Wireshark, start to capture packets, and then you, if you remember, we have a filtering capability in Wireshark. There is a white text box in Wireshark. Okay, you can write ICMP and then enter. The Wireshark will filter the captured packet and just it shows you just ICMP packets. Just it will remove the rest of packets. Just this strategy to find 3 different ICMP packets and then extract them. Then explain them. What is the structure of those messages and what does they mean? What do they mean? Okay, I want you read and learn more about ICMP packets, and then write your idea. Okay, I received these packets, and in this packet, the structure shows that, for example, this is an unreachable address. It means that, for example, the received port number is closed. I cannot send information to that port number. or something like that. Okay, you need to learn, read more about ICP and do it simply. And finally, write a report for me. Okay, this is what I learned. Any question? Just wanna answer me. What about the others? What about the others? Other students are absent, yes? Please put a sign, put a plus sign in the chat room if you are present in the class. A sign for me, a plus sign for me in the chat room. Link? Common answer, what do you mean? What do you mean? Link of what? In the past, I said that on Saturdays, we will run the class using the permanent link of the class of group number 1, and on Tuesdays we use permanent link of group number 2, second group. I upload those links. Those links are in WhatsApp group. You can find them easily. Okay, during the last lecture, we talked about digital signature, and we showed that if we use a hash function here, we can find a hash key comes from this message, and then we can encrypt that hash key. And finally, the message is sent plus this encrypted hash result. And at the receiver, we receive the message and we run the hash function, and here we can decrypt it. Encrypted hash 1, and finally we receive a hash value here. Okay, we talked about this, and we said that in today's computer networks, we can use one of these common methods, MD5 or SHA-1. Okay, let me continue the course. Until now, we learned that, okay, I can encrypt my message to keep the privacy, and also I add a hash digest to the message to be sure that my message does not alter. Okay. One more question. Trudy is here between Alice and Bob, and Trudy can say hello to Bob. To Bob, uh, she can say, "Okay, Bob. Hi, Bob. I'm Alice." And at the same time, Trudy can send a message to Alice. "Hi, Alice. I'm Bob." Trudy poses herself to Alice and Bob. She stands in the path between Alice and Bob. I'm Alice. I'm Alice. You get this one? Everything is great. Instead of Alice, Trudy start a secure connection with Bob. "Oh, I'm Alice," and he used his Trudy used her keys, her public and private keys, to make a connection with Bob. And at the same time, the Trudy can repeat the process with Alice. "Okay, if you are Alice, let me know." Until now, Alice and Bob thinks that they are talking with the other guy, the other side. Alice thinks that she's talking with Bob, and Bob thinks that he's talking with Alice. But Trudy is here. And Trudy starts that authentication mechanism with Alice and Bob. So everything is correct. But Trudy is here. So if Alice try to send her private information to Bob, she doesn't know that this is not Bob. This is Trudy here. Alice sends her private messages to Trudy. And maybe Trudy sent the same message to Bob. But Trudy can read the messages between Alice and Bob. Or Trudy can alter the message. For example, Alice says, "Oh, Bob, I love you." And Trudy can say, "Oh, Bob, I hate you." You know, Trudy is in the middle of this communication, this path. So the Trudy can just sniff the packets to learn more about the relationship between Alice and Bob, or Trudy can alter the messages too. Yes. So when, for example, Bob sends a personal message to Alice, Bob encrypt his message with the public key of Trudy, not public key of Alice. Bob encrypt his message with the public key of Trudy, so Trudy easily can recover the message. And now, for example, Trudy can send that message to Alice. How? Here, Trudy recover the message, the real message of Bob. So simply, Trudy can encrypt the message with the public key of Alice and send it to Alice. And Alice recover the message. So there is no doubt that Alice and Bob are talking with each other. But in reality, we know that Trudy is here, Trudy is sitting here. between Alice and Bob. And he knows everything. So it's a big problem with me. How can I handle it? To handle this problem, there is only one way. We need a certificate for public keys. Because if someone sends a public key for me, it should be a center that receives those public keys and verify that, okay, yes, this is the Alice public key, not Trudy. We need something like this. We need a certified public key. For example, Bob sits in his house. Someone rang the bell. Okay, knock the door. Someone. Okay, I'm pizza delivery. I bring your order. My order? But I have no order. What do you say? I was in my home and I have no order for pizza. But you order this, and this is your name, your address.